Hello, everybody out there in listening world. Wesley Bray with Core Scope Insights Podcast. Hey, where we're at the core of industry, always expanding the scope. Hope y'all had a great week and checked out the last episode. Thank y'all for subscribing. Those of you who have subscribed, as you know, we're going to spin the wheel every show and we're going to give away some great prizes. So if that don't keep you in tune, I think our guest tonight will have the opportunity to sit down with a great friend of mine, great business partner, and his name is Mr. Larry Sunshine with Air Plus. So, Larry, say hello to everybody out
Hello,
there.
everyone. Wes, thanks for having me. Excited
Great.
to be here.
It is a pleasure. So Larry come down from New York City. So we've got a big New York City slicker in the studio tonight, and just can't wait to get into things with him because Larry's a very successful businessman. And so we're going to start off, Larry, if you don't mind. I got some questions for you, but I mean, I cannot wait for our audience to hear your success story and about the products you've got. So I'm looking forward to this. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Likewise, I'm looking forward to it as well.
So, hey, if you don't mind, let's start off with a question.
Sure.
Larry, how did you get to today from where you started at? And give us a little bit about the history of you and how you got into this business, and let's just hear a little bit about Larry. That's what people
Sure.
want to hear.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's been a long road. A lot of gray hair, no hair and gray hair, but uh, I actually started as a consulting engineer in New York City years and years ago. And that's what I really learned about the HVAC industry. And was there for about 6 years. I worked for a company called Joseph Loring and Associates. Joe Loring and Associates designed the World Trade Centers back in the late 60s, really high-end,
Wow.
world famous projects. He did the Citicorp building, the New York City skyline, that building with a 45-degree angle. It's a 80-story building. He designed that as well. Lots of buildings in New York, but we did stuff around the world. Embassies around the world and university stuff's really incredible education I got there. After about 6 years, I got recruited out of there to get into sales.
Yeah.
Some sales guys saw some potential in me. Larry, you don't want to be behind
What?
this desk.
Didn't see that potential. My goodness, the World Trade Center. I never knew that, folks. This is news to me. So this is incredible. Like I said, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna uncover some details about Larry, but Larry has an impressive resume. So Larry, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Layers of the onion. You keep pulling back those layers. There's more and more stuff there. So had an incredible education at Joe Loring and Associates for 6 years. I got recruited out of there to actually work for a company called Lindab, the world's largest sheet metal manufacturer based in Sweden, making
Wow.
ventilation components, ductwork and diffusers and silencers and VAV box and that sort of stuff. Did that for 10 years. Started as a sales guy, then as a sales manager, and then I became our director of national accounts. So I was calling on firms like The Gap and Walmart and Kmart and public supermarkets, working with their engineering teams on deploying our ventilation products on all of their projects. So that was great experience. Then I got promoted again. I was our VP of marketing. So sort of moved around the business a bit, but I was Lindab, being a large international company, was not represented in the U.S. So I was one of the first couple of guys to join the team to start the business in the U.S. So I sort of had my first foray into a startup business, although we had a large parent in the background with lots of money and resources. So that was pretty good. Did that for 10 years. I was part of the executive team that helped to make all the decisions. So as a young guy in his 20s, it was really great experience for me to see all that stuff. I then left there and started in the air purification business. This is 2004. Worked for a small company called Bentax, doing ionization products, tube style. The needle point had not been invented yet. So doing tube style stuff, small company, a couple of partners. I was the VP of sales and marketing. And unfortunately, a lot of politics between these three guys. And I was sort of stuck in the middle, and it was really sort of not a great experience for a couple of years. But the opportunity presented itself 3 years later in 2007 for me to start an ionization company called Plasma Air, which I think you've
Oh,
heard of.
yes, definitely heard of Plasma Air.
I founded
Yes,
Plasma Air in 2007 with a partner and a couple of investors. And 20 years ago, people were not overly interested in air quality and air
right.
purification. It was sort of a very special thing. No one was really super gung ho about it. So it was hard. It was hard selling stuff back then. But in 2006, right before we started the company, ASHRAE's IAQ procedure was adopted by the code, the International Mechanical Code, which allows buildings to reduce the amount of outside air you have to bring in as long as you can prove that your contaminants are no higher than they would have been. So it's a little confusing. There's calculations involved, which are frankly pretty hairy, but we developed software at Plasma Air that allowed people to do the calculations much easier and quicker. And that really launched the business, actually. So we did pretty well. We grew the business, and then we were made an offer we couldn't refuse, so to speak. So we actually sold the business in 2016 to an Irish group called Noveris at the
Right.
time, and it was great. I enjoyed working with those guys. We continued to grow the business, and then COVID hit in 2020.
Oh, COVID was a wreck of a lot,
That
wasn't it?
was incredible. Look,
But
it
it presented opportunity as well, but
it
right.
ruined people's lives and people's businesses.
Sure,
It did the opposite for us, and I don't wanna brag about that, but the sales was out of control. We had an early test, that showed that it deactivated the COVID virus.
sure.
So sales exploded. In fact, sales grew about 800% from
Wow.
19 to 20, even into 2021, and it was great. It was awful and great at the same time. Obviously,
Sure.
revenues, through the roof. But
And by the way, you being in New York, that's New York, folks, that's where a lot of the, a lot of the media was focused on New York. I remember seeing, how widespread, I guess, because it's such a big community there. New York was really put on the forefront about COVID, and you was hearing so many horror stories. And I think some of the horror stories spread from New York, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong,
well,
but that's kind of where the fear factor came a lot from those early media
for
and stuff.
for sure. In fact, one of some of the earliest cases was in a town near me called New Rochelle, New York.
Wow.
It was sort of the epicenter, super early, like month number one.
Sure.
I guess there was some lawyer who was working in New York City, and he lived in New Rochelle, and then he gave it to other people, and so sort of that little community was the first one to really start some of the heavy caseloads, and then of course things got out of control. But yeah, back to the business, sales exploded. Grew incredibly, and we really couldn't ramp up for that. We couldn't hire people. We couldn't interview and hire people. We couldn't be in an office. So
Sure.
picture a team at a certain sales level, an operations team, customer service team. How did you go from the same number of people to doing 8 times more business? So
Mhm.
really the team did incredibly. I was so proud of them and proud of them now, how they did that, working not through the night, but working 15, 16-hour days all
Sure.
day into the
Wow.
night. It was crazy. So that brought us to the end of 21, just to finish my story here. Um, and then I left. Just COVID was sort of over, and it was time for me to move on. And I then consulted for a year. Knew some people that were trying to figure out what to do now at the end of COVID, post COVID. What are they going to do with product development? Some real estate stuff, real estate people that I knew. Um, and then in my discussions and meetings and talking to people, I met a couple people who had some super interesting ideas. I learned about some technologies that I didn't know about
Mhm.
pre-COVID and really pre-Plasma Air.
Sure.
And I decided about a year after leaving Plasma Air, I'm going to start another company. I wanted to create a platform that would allow us to develop these products that I was learning about and then enter the market with them, which we've now done.
That's great, Larry. It's a really interesting story, folks. I told you this guy. Not only is he a genius in the realm of indoor air quality and the products, but Larry, take this opportunity a little bit, if you will. Tell us a little bit about those products and the opportunity that came from it. If you want to use some of the samples on the table there, feel free. We'll put the cameras on there already, so feel free to talk about the products a little bit.
Yeah, I got a couple of products here. Yeah, some of innovative stuff that we really wanted to introduce, but um, needle point ionization uses needles to create ions. But what's different about this, it's auto cleaning. So a lot of the newer technologies, ionization, the needles or brushes will get dirty after a while. They'll
Sure.
attract dust and they don't work as well. So an auto cleaning technology is great. And that's this. The different the benefits of this product versus others is that the needle doesn't get damaged when it's cleaning. Basically, the needle gets drawn in and out of a cylinder and it knocks the dust and dirt off of the needle, but it doesn't get damaged.
Right.
We have a competitor that has this blade that spins around and it knocks the dirt and dust off the brushes. And after a couple of years, they tell us the brushes get damaged and you're supposed to replace the brushes. But I don't know if people are going to go into their, forget about homes, but how about a
Right.
school or an office building? They're going to go find the ionizers and replace the brushes. I don't know if that's going to happen. So I think it's important that this product doesn't damage the needles when it's doing its
Sure,
cleaning.
and that's the beauty of that product there. I mean, I've taken a look at it, and you know, I worked with another company that had ionization. Of course, they are out of business now. It was a product that was, you know, they came in with a price point trying to be competitive, and that's the only thing they had going for them was the price.
Yeah.
But you know, you're holding a very high quality product in your hand, and just to see the engineering that went into it and what this can bring to the market, Larry, I feel like you have really got a product to be proud of. So please continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but guys, we're looking at quality here. It's beyond anything we've seen thus far in the industry as far as bipolar ionization. So take my word for don't take my word for it, take his word for it.
Look, we don't want to be a price seller. We want to be a
Right.
quality seller. We do have, what we believe, the best products in the industry with the highest quality and super cool attributes that other folks don't have. Speaking of that, this little guy is a relatively new ionizer. It's our FM 2400 series. It's got brushes in here.
Hmm.
It's got integrated magnets, so you don't have to glue a magnet as other people do. When you glue a magnet, eventually the ionizer comes loose. The
Right.
ionizer falls to the bottom of the air handler or the furnace, and now you're getting no air quality at
So
all.
they're integrated into the polymer or plastic of that product there.
They're buried in here. And when my
Awesome.
product development guy said, "Larry, we're going to bury him," and I said, "Well, we're going to get fewer ions then." And he said, "Actually, no. I've tested it both ways. And when you bury that, you're creating a little bit of a vortice, venturi, I should say,
Sure.
where it's pulling the ions out of there. You know, you take a Coke bottle, you open up a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke, and you blow across it. You're drawing out the CO2.
CO2, right.
Same thing with the brushes. They with the air flowing over it, it's actually drawing the ions out, creating more ions.
Oh, great.
We also integrated the magnets, as I mentioned. Instead of gluing the magnets on here, we buried them in here. This is metal. So this will stick to a fan wheel, a metallic fan
Sure.
wheel with the buried magnets. We also have a little cool function here.
Or it'll mount right inside the duct, right? It's because it's going to be by the fan, correct?
This
It's
is
going
going
to
to
be
go
right
on the
on
fan
the fan.
wheel,
Yep.
and
Okay.
the suction side of the fan sucks the ions in and then blows it out the positive side of the fan.
Great
There's an LED
technology.
here when it's on, that actually shines a small diameter bright light onto the wall of the air handler or the furnace. You
Hmm.
might be like, well, who cares? Why is that? But what we've heard from contractors and installers is that sometimes these things are installed in places where it's really hard to get to,
Sure.
and they don't know if
Absolutely.
it's working or not.
In
So
more cases than not.
yeah, exactly. They're hard and you got to, climb in there and try to get to the unit. But what we've done is by shining a beam of light on the opposite wall, a contractor or a service tech can see immediately whether it's working or not. So
Hmm.
we have that cool thing in there. So there's a bunch of cool features of this little guy, that's really helpful. It's also only 1 inch thick, so this will fit anywhere. PTAC, fan coil unit, VRF, ceiling cassette, a wall mount, a mini split. This little guy, 1 inch thick, will fit pretty much everywhere.
That is awesome. Anything else you got details there
Oh,
on that one?
this is a duck mounted version of the auto clean.
Okay.
This guy, you'd cut a hole in the duct, you'd stick it in there, put some screws in to hold it in place, dry contact. power wiring, low voltage, and then dry contact wires. So
Sure. Does a template when they cut the hole in, do you guys provide the template also for that, for cutting the duct, or
we don't. It's a simple
simple square,
5 by
just 5
5
by 5?
square. Cut a
Gotcha.
hole in there, stick it in there. Pretty simple stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's great. Folks, hey, more to come, more to learn about here. If you're not familiar with bipolar ionization is one of the greatest ways that you can add indoor air quality into your home to make the air healthier for you and your family to breathe. So we're going to be right back with more to talk about with Larry. We're just going to take a short little break here just to recognize our sponsors.
Crawl Buddy is a versatile device created by a field service pro, first of its kind. It is a tool case, tool sled, transport device, and more. Heavy-duty contractor grade. Ready for any conditions. Work smarter. Be faster. Connectable sleds tow 190 pounds. Glides over wires, pipes, and vapor barriers. Built-in razor device. Zip tie chamber and multiple tool pockets. Turn horrendous jobs into money-making jobs with Crawl Buddy's towing system. It's just easier. Low-profile design makes it ideal for those super tight spaces. Carry everything you need to make fewer trips, never too low. If you can go, Buddy can go. Equipped with a rotatable work light, powerful magnet tray, Crawl Buddy by far exceeds the capabilities of an ordinary tool bag. Technician provided solutions so you can get in, get done, and get out.
Are you looking to rock and roll or find your rhythm? Musician Supply has everything you need to make music come alive. From guitars, drums, percussion, and wind instruments, they carry instruments that get you playing today. Need to get your gear tuned, repaired, or customized? Their expert luthier service has you covered. Want to sharpen your skills or start a new hobby? Music lessons available for every age and level are available at Musician Supply. And the best part, they have wall-to-wall stock, ready for you to take home and start making music. With 2 locations to serve you in the Columbia, South Carolina area, look no further than Musician Supply or check them out on their website at www.musiciansupply.com. All right, folks, we're back. Hey, we're going to continue our conversation with Mr. Larry Sunshine. What a cool name. Who wouldn't want their last name to be Sunshine?
Pretty cool. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
People don't forget me. Let's put it that way.
I'd rather have sunshine than moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, folks. So we're going to get right into this. So Larry, I got a question here for you. What do you want contractors to take away from tonight's show? If we got contractors watching this show, what do you want contractors to know about the product? And I'm going to help fill in the gaps with you just from my experience, if you don't mind, because I know you're an expert, but I want to make sure that anything that you miss, and I'm speaking to my contractor friends out there, I want to make sure we cover opportunity, things like that. But I'm gonna give it to you. But I just feel like I'm gonna want to add on to this, and I'm just saying.
I'm happy to have you add on. You have your experiences, I have mine, and then
Right.
together we.
Sure.
So, I think quality. I mentioned earlier, we're not a price seller. We're competitive. We may not be the lowest guy, but we're not going to race to the bottom. We have better products than other folks. There's 3 or 4 other products like this, a simple brush style ionizer. That's it. We
Right.
have all kinds of stuff. Again, the integrated magnets and buried brushes to create more ions. We've compared our ion output to other ionizers, and ours makes more.
Mm-hmm.
Also, and I forgot to mention before, all of our products are UL 2998,
Very important.
which is the zero ozone
Yeah.
certification. If it's got this green badge or
Wait a
this.
minute, timeout right there. That warrants a timeout. I get asked this question all the time. So I'm just going to rephrase this. Guys, hear that? Zero ozone. You repeat it, Larry.
Zero ozone.
Zero. Okay,
So
back
if
to
it
you.
has
my
the
friend.
green badge, or Intertech uses the black badge, it produces zero ozone. They consider zero less than 5 parts per billion.
Mhm.
This ionizer actually created about 1 part per billion. So we were way less than the standard. In fact, the Intertech folks mentioned how surprised they were at how great it was, producing literally almost zero ozone. So, so zero ozone, integrated magnets, a beam of light to tell you that it's working. By the way, we also have This is a low voltage version that takes 12 or 24 volts, AC or DC. And then we have a line voltage version, 120 or 240. You don't have to have 4 different versions. If you're on a truck and you have 12 volts, I thought it was 24 volt. You don't need to go back to the shop and get
Right.
something else. So 2 versions. Also, this guy has a option for a set of dry contacts. So if you need to tie it into a building automation system or what have you, it has that as well. So I want a contractor to know that Air Plus is about quality. We've got cool products. They clean themselves. They have different attributes that other products don't. It'll make your job install quicker. You're not going to get callbacks because the magnet became loose. Yeah, quality. It'll help you get your job done quicker, and you hopefully won't have callbacks ever.
Absolutely. And what I want to add on to that, guys, is if you're going into it, and this is for the homeowners that may be watching out there, so many homeowners think that being comfortable in your home is being cool when you're hot or warm when you're cold. There's so much more to indoor air quality than that because you want to remove ions, you want to remove VOCs, you want to be comfortable in your home, but you also want to be healthy in your home. So that is the beauty of what Air Plus brings to the picture for your whole home indoor air quality. And contractors, let me just say this to you guys: I talk to a lot of guys, so I'm not pinpointing anybody out there. I'm just saying I've talked to a lot of contractors, and the question is, do you offer indoor air quality? Well, yeah, if the customer wants it, until we've evolved. It's kind of like the old thermostat thing. You'd ask customers in a room full of customers, hey, how many contractors are installing Wi-Fi thermostats? I can tell you 15 years ago,
Mm.
not very many people in the room were raising their hand. You go recently, and of course, more people have evolved with technology. So I think that indoor air quality is coming around. I'm not trying to steal all your time here, but I just think this is very important. Guys, contractors, if you are not talking indoor air quality to a potential homeowner customer of yours, and they're getting several quotes, and somebody else comes in and talks to them about indoor air quality, and you have failed to mention it on it, it could very well make you look like the guy didn't care to mention to me about this. He only quoted me the bare minimum because he was afraid that if he talked to me about indoor air quality, it may have raised the price of the job to where he would have felt I wouldn't have went with it. If you get where I'm going, I know that I've seen situations out there like that where guys are only talking bare minimum, but look at the opportunity that indoor air quality also provides you folks out there, that when you add on to a system and it's more than just heating and cooling, a customer's getting to pick how healthy they want to be in their house. And most of them, if you ask them or give them the choice, they're going to want the benefit of the healthier home. Sorry about that, Larry, but that's where I felt like sometimes from a manufacturer standpoint, that gets left out,
Sure.
is the opportunities for contractors.
I mean, look, if they're not offering it, it's a missed opportunity. I
Exactly.
mean, I
And what does
homeowner,
that sign say up there, Larry, above the door? Can you read that? I've got it up. Folks, you
you
can't see it.
miss all the shots you don't take.
That's a famous quote from Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan said, "Hey, you're going to miss every shot you don't take." So, yeah, back to that. Sorry, I won't interrupt you anymore. Just
Yeah,
wanted
no, I just wanted to emphasize or support what you were saying is that it's a missed opportunity.
it is.
It's a simple add-on. It's low voltage. It sticks to the fan. It's a 10, 15-minute install. We don't have to tell the homeowners that, but for a few extra $100, you increase your revenue per call, and you're providing a service and a product to your customers. So I think a lot of them will
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So my next question was talk about IEQ products. So I don't want to confuse this either. So if a homeowner, let's say they have a UV lamp in place, or they have some other type IEQ product,
Yeah.
and maybe they're not familiar with indoor, bipolar ionization.
Yep.
These will play well with others, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We get installed in conjunction with UV all the time. I'm not an anti UV guy. I'm a pro UV guy.
Right.
We have to install it for what it's going to do. shine a light on the coil and the drain pan. It'll stop biofilms from growing, and that's amazing. That's great.
Right.
Is it going to clean all the air in the home? Probably not. The bacteria cells, virus cells are probably moving too quickly through the UV light for it to be very effective, but that's
Sure.
where the ionizer comes in. Mount the ionizer either at the fan or downstream of the fan or in the ductwork, whatever. You'll be sending ions into the home, deactivating viruses, agglomerating particles, neutralizing VOCs and odors. It really has a bigger solution
Sure.
than, and we talked about earlier, why did ionizers rise to the top of the solution set during COVID?
Right.
It's because it does a lot of things with one product. When you flood a room with ions by putting it into the air handling system, you're getting all those benefits, deactivating virus and bacteria, again, agglomerating particles. Particles are way worse for us than we knew 20, 30 years ago.
Absolutely.
Particles don't just get into your nose and your lungs, they get into your bloodstream now. And
Yeah.
if that little micron-sized particle is carrying some sort of bacteria or virus, that could have dire consequences for
Sure.
us. So agglomerating particles, so they fall out of the breathing zone or get caught into the return grill. The filter now will catch those particles because
Right.
they're larger now, but neutralizing VOCs, odors, dog odors, pet odors, cooking odors. Odors are a problem in every home. So ionization it's a wide-ranging solution. It's not just very narrow, let's say like a UV light, but yes, we get installed in conjunction with UV lights all the time.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Folks, hey, we're just going to take one more quick break here. We're going to come back. We're finished up with segment 2. We're going to come back with segment 3 here. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. You can't always see what's in the air, but you can breathe easier with Air Plus. Air Plus specializes in bipolar ionization, an advanced indoor air solution that helps reduce airborne pollutants like dust, allergens, odors, and germs throughout your home or business. Instead of just filtering the air, bipolar ionization actively treats the air you breathe, making it cleaner, fresher, and healthier. The result? Fewer odors, improved comfort, and better air quality in every room, not just where your system sits. If you care about your family's health, your employees, or the comfort of your space, it's time to focus on what matters most, the air inside. Air Plus, cleaner air, healthier living, powered by bipolar ionization. Safety isn't optional, it's priority. And with Safety Plus, where protection comes first, they have you covered with everything from head to toe, such as welding gear, hard hats, gloves, ear protection, safety eyewear, and much, much more. And let's not forget those fire extinguishers, carbon monoxide detectors, because safety isn't just gear, it's a peace of mind. Whether you're at home or on the job, Safety Plus has you covered. So call them today at 803-996-1155. That's 803-996-1155. Or you can check them out on the website at www.safetypluslexington.com. All right, what a wonderful audience we got tonight. Hopefully you folks are watching and enjoying what we're talking about, the content we're putting out. So, hey, I want to get back to Larry here because he's got so much interesting things, and I'm learning as you guys are as you watch. And so, Larry, I just want to put this out there a little bit. Maybe you can explain what changes have you seen that have occurred since COVID or post-COVID?
Yeah, there's been some. Well, during COVID, there were a bunch of companies promoting products really because of the huge opportunity that was available to them. And those products were not vetted and tested, and there was not a lot of safety standards met with some of that. And a lot of those guys are gone now. But the changes that created that change is for instance, we talked about it before, UL 2998. The UL and now ASHRAE has adopted the UL 2998. They do not want any electronic air cleaners creating ozone above 5 parts per billion. Again, 5 parts per billion is essentially zero.
Yeah.
So UL 2998, there's now requirements for testing. They want to see third-party testing with a proper test method. You can't just throw it in a box and do some testing. Also, anyone who's any homeowner or contractor out there, the product better be UL or ETL listed for safety.
Sure.
And that's electrical safety. You don't want to install something and, God forbid there's a fire, or there's electrical fire. You do
Right.
not want that as well. So the industry has really upped their game from a safety, efficacy, as it also incorporates ozone and other requirements like that.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's great. And also, we talk about homeowners and what opportunities are in homes, but Larry, could you explain to some of the guys that may be doing commercial or some guys that do residential, but they're also doing some stuff, and even we have some people in the utilities for the school systems and things like that, the maintenance departments for
Sure.
school systems. So let's talk about. I mean, it's not just for residential. You have these products available, and he's nodding his head, folks, as I'm talking. But yes, so let's talk about what's available for schools and commercial, and and places of business, office spaces, doctors' offices, even. There's all kinds of I don't want to give it. I'm putting the cart before the horse, so I apologize. But I get excited when I'm talking indoor air quality.
That's all
If y'all
right.
can't tell that, folks, hey, I get really. It's something I'm very passionate about. In my 27 years in the industry, I'm very passionate about indoor air quality. So I'm sorry, I will shut up. I'll let you go with
Wes, we love your enthusiasm. Yeah, we have lots of products, not just these three, but we do schools and we do hospitals and senior living, daycare, cannabis grow facilities, smoking casinos, helipads. When a helicopter
Oh,
lands
yeah.
on the roof, those fumes get sucked into the outside air intake and get into operating rooms, and we get involved in all kinds of stuff. Yeah, these are the little smaller products, but we have the long ionization bar.
Sure.
It goes up to 6 feet wide. You would mount that in the air handler. We have the tube style ionization, which we really didn't talk about. Those are for the more difficult applications, like I just mentioned, a smoking casino. The needlepoint products are not going to be able to handle the cigarette
Right.
smoke and VOCs that come from that. So smoking casinos, a cannabis grow, as I mentioned before, maybe a morgue where you've got formaldehyde odor. So we get involved in some heavy duty industrial type of projects where you
Awesome.
need the stronger ionization. But we have a whole suite of products that could do almost any project.
And you also have some new products coming out, right? You've got some new innovation and things that are changing. And also, folks, I want to put this out there. This show isn't just about HVAC, but a lot of times it seems like what we cover a lot. But Larry, you want to talk briefly, and maybe this could be a whole nother show, because you guys do also ionization for what else? The wastewater treatment plants.
We do. We have a
So
division
just talk about that a little bit.
Yep. Thank you. We have a division that does wastewater treatment plants. It's
called the Odor Beast.
We have different model names, but it's really for odor control, but also corrosion. Corrosion is a huge problem in the wastewater industry. Why? Because off-gassing from waste is hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide, very corrosive. So we have a division that does that, but our solution is very different than competing systems. Competing odor control systems suck air out of the building, or let's say a tank headspace, a carbon scrubber, a biofilter, a chemical scrubber, what have you. Our solution's different. We're blowing ions into the building or the headspace, and that does a couple of really cool things. Number one, it reduces the H2S and other contaminants in the room. So we're making an improved working environment. Number two, because we're knocking down the H2S in the room, we're reducing corrosion actually in the room.
Sure.
The competing systems, when they're exhausting air out of the building, they're creating a negative pressure.
Right.
That pulls more H2S out of the channels, drags it through the room, actually increases corrosion. So yes, we have a whole business unit that does corrosion and odor control in the wastewater business. It's pretty exciting stuff.
That's awesome. Folks, if y'all are learning something out there tonight, don't feel like you're all alone or the Lone Ranger. I am picking up on this as well. And what an education we're getting, and what lessons we are learning tonight by one of the best in the industry, and just represents himself in his company in a professional manner. And just, I can't say enough about Air Plus products. I think these things are going to be are really just going to gangbust into the industry, and it's going to provide so much opportunity for contractors to add more services for their customers, and for distributors to be able to sell a product that is backed. You guys have a great warranty on the product as well.
Sure. Warranty. Look, I think post-COVID, the world sort of realized things can go horribly wrong if there's if there's an active virus out there. So there was sort of a pause after COVID, and people just mentally took inventory and what are we going to do now? But we see an uptick now in orders. People are now saying, look, what are we going to do? Not just in our home, but in our building. We have workers here. We have to protect them. We have
Good
kids in
point.
school. We have
Exactly.
teachers. We can't, the kids are bringing stuff home and they give colds to each other. We got to protect the teachers from these viruses.
Absolutely.
So there's we see an uptick in the purchases. The industry is now trying to figure out what are we going to do now post COVID, and we do see people starting to employ it for air quality reasons.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Larry, we're kind of winding down here. I know we're going to spin the prize wheel here in just a little bit, folks, and we're going to get to that part. But before we do, I just got a couple of other questions, Larry. So anything else you want to add?
No, I'm waiting for you to ask the next question.
You're waiting. Let's see here. The next question. How was your flight from New York? Was that good?
Pretty smooth.
Yeah, pretty smooth. That's
Pretty
great.
smooth. Yeah.
No, that wasn't the next question. Just throwing a little side curve, throwing him a sidewinder. You can't catch this guy off guard, but I thought I would there. But no, I do have a couple of other questions. So Larry, so folks that want to learn more about Air Plus or become more familiar with what Air Plus wants to offer, and possibly you may have some manufacturing reps out there across the country that you're wanting to see this message, because you got some opportunities coming up. Is that correct?
Yeah,
For reps?
We have commercial reps around the country covering pretty much the whole country, but we're about to embark into the distribution business.
Sure.
Where we're going to be hiring those reps that call on distributors. So if anyone's interested, reach out and let us know. But for sure, the website air-plus.com, spell out plus, P-L-U-S, air-plus.com. You can learn a lot about the company and the products and the technology that we use.
That's awesome. And you guys have always got someone to answer the phone when a call comes in, or you can get to us, send them, they got a place they can leave a message on your.
We have a team. We have
awesome.
people that, but look, I'm happy to talk to anyone about this, a contractor, a distributor, a client. If there's a school district or an office or whatever, I'm happy to make myself available and speak to anyone. I love talking about this, Wes, almost as much as you love doing these. I love talking about air quality. It's now, just my 22nd year being in the ionization business. Yeah, I probably know a little bit about it, but I love talking about it. I'm happy to work with people on
We share the same passion.
Very good.
Do we not?
We do. We do.
We'll work good together, won't we?
We do.
All right, folks. Hey, we're going to be right back. I'll tell you what, we're not going to take a break here. We'll just cut this off now. We're going to get right to the spin the wheel part here. And so y'all stay tuned, and we'll clear this table off, Larry, and we'll get into spinning the wheel and finding out who tonight's lucky winner is. All right, y'all stay tuned. All right, Larry, we've come to that portion of the show where everybody looks forward to. What we're going to do is we're going to spin the wheel. Somebody's going to win a great prize tonight. Thank you guys for subscribing to the show. If you haven't subscribed yet, go to YouTube, type in CoreScope Insights, hit that little search button, hit subscribe. Please leave us a comment. We want you to be in the wheel. Leave us a comment. Give us a thumbs up. We always appreciate that. Ring that bell, as they say. So, Larry, we're leaving here a little bit with some nice merchandise. Larry wears a hat, he says, a lot of times.
Well, I have to, right? I got protection. I need some.
So you can, and we're giving Larry a gift for being on the show, a nice coffee cup here from CoreScope. But Larry, we're going to let you do what everybody's waiting on. You get to spin to see what somebody's going to win tonight.
It's a big moment right here.
A big moment.
I'm honored to do this. You ready?
Ready.
Suspense is killing me. What do we got?
Oh, That is a $100 Visa card. Now let's move that closer so people can see. Is that good in the screen here? We'll have to ask our cameraman. So somebody's won a $100 Visa card that you can use to spend anywhere. So, Larry, you get to also spin the wheel tonight.
Great.
So somebody's going to win a $100 Visa card. Let's see who that lucky person is. Good luck to all of you out there in listening world. Shake them up good, Larry.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Ooh, I know this guy. Mr. Matt Cameron. Mr. Matt Cameron, you are the winner tonight for the $100 gift card. Thank you for subscribing. And make sure you leave us a comment. Thank you, my friend. Guys, Larry, it's been a great pleasure having you on the show.
Likewise.
Likewise, my friend. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
you.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your support. And thank you for educating our audience tonight about Air Plus and telling us all the great things that's already out there and things to come. It has been a great pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to wave out. We're going to wave out together on a 3, 2, 1. We're going to say goodbye, folks. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye, folks. Till next time.